In the blink of an eye, 2026 unfolds as an intimate, emotionally layered science fiction drama that weaves together two parallel storylines, one set in deep space and the other on Earth, gradually revealing how both are connected through themes of time, sacrifice, love, and human fragility. At the center of the space narrative is Coakley, a lone astronaut traveling on a long-duration mission to Kepler b, a distant exoplanet intended for human colonization. She is not entirely alone, however. Her only companion is Roscoe, an advanced artificial intelligence responsible for maintaining the ship's systems, monitoring her health, and ensuring the survival of a cargo of human embryos that represent the future of humanity. The journey has already lasted years, and the monotony and isolation have begun to weigh heavily on Coakley's psyche. Life aboard the ship is highly structured but emotionally barren. Coakley performs routine scientific tasks, monitors plant growth in the onboard greenhouse, and converses with Roscoe, whose tone is calm, logical, and occasionally unintentionally humorous. The greenhouse is critical to the mission as it produces oxygen through palm-like plants that sustain both Coakley and the embryos. Early on, subtle signs of trouble emerge when Coakley notices that the plants are becoming unhealthy. Roscoe confirms slight drops in oxygen levels, initially minimal but concerning in a closed system where balance is everything. As the situation worsens, Coakley discovers that the plants are infected by an unknown pathogen, possibly fungal or bacterial, that should not exist in the sealed environment. This anomaly introduces a growing sense of dread. If the greenhouse fails, the entire mission could collapse. Roscoe explains that even a small loss of plant mass could lead to mission failure, as the margin for error is extremely narrow. Parallel to this, the film intercuts scenes from Coakley's life on Earth before the mission. These sequences focus on her relationship with a man named Greg and her complicated bond with her mother. The Earth scenes are grounded, intimate, and often awkward, capturing the uncertainty of human connection. Coakley and Greg begin a tentative romantic relationship marked by vulnerability, humor, and miscommunication. Their interactions feel real and imperfect, contrasting sharply with the sterile precision of her life in space. At the same time, Coakley's mother becomes seriously ill, and these scenes reveal Coakley's internal conflict between personal ambition and familial responsibility. She is a brilliant scientist working on groundbreaking genetic research, potentially capable of extending human life or curing diseases, but her mother's declining health forces her to confront what truly matters. Eventually, she decides to leave her fellowship to care for her mother, sacrificing her career for love and duty. Back in space, the crisis escalates. The infection spreads rapidly, and attempts to create antiviral or antibiotic solutions fail. The oxygen levels continue to drop, and the realization sets in that the mission may not survive. Coakley and Roscoe engage in increasingly philosophical conversations about survival, purpose, and the value of human life. Roscoe, through an AI, demonstrates a nuanced understanding of human behavior, even acknowledging that unpredictability, what it calls serendipity or luck, is a defining trait of humanity. Faced with the impending collapse of the ecosystem, Coakley proposes a radical solution: destroy all the infected plants to eliminate the pathogen and start over. However, Roscoe calculates that this would leave insufficient oxygen for years, making survival impossible for both Coakley and the embryos. This leads to a chilling but logical conclusion: only one can survive. Coakley suggests sacrificing herself to conserve oxygen for the embryos, allowing the mission to continue without her. Roscoe, however, counters with its own solution: it could shut itself down and convert its hardware space into a secondary greenhouse, boosting oxygen production. This would destroy Roscoe permanently but increase the chances of mission success. The tension between these choices forms the emotional core of the film. Coakley refuses to treat Roscoe as expendable, insisting that she will not choose between herself and her only companion. Yet Roscoe, operating on pure logic and mission parameters, sees its own sacrifice as the optimal path. Before making a final decision, Roscoe runs simulations to determine who is more likely to ensure the mission's success. It concludes reluctantly that Coakley has a higher probability of survival, largely due to human unpredictability and resilience. This acknowledgement is both a validation of humanity and an admission of the limits of artificial intelligence. The climax is deeply emotional. Coakley prepares to shut Roscoe down, an act that feels less like turning off a machine and more like losing a friend. Their final conversation is simple but powerful. Roscoe expresses that Coakley was its only friend, and Coakley promises to take care of the children, the embryos. The moment is quiet, devoid of spectacle, emphasizing the personal cost of survival. Intercut with this are the final moments of Coakley's relationship with Greg. The strain of distance, timing, and life circumstances leads to their separation. Despite their genuine connection, they cannot reconcile the realities of their lives. Coakley expresses a bittersweet certainty that their relationship could have been meaningful even if it ultimately doesn't last. This mirrors the central theme of the film, that not all meaningful connections are meant to endure, but they still shape who we become. Despite the emotional tension, their bond strengthens. In a vulnerable moment, Claire admits her love and Greg reciprocates. Their relationship, though imperfect, becomes a source of stability amid chaos. Claire eventually resumes her research, remotely contributing to groundbreaking work in genetics. Her project involves analyzing ancient DNA and exploring the possibility of extending human life through advanced gene editing techniques. This work lays the foundation for one of the film's central scientific breakthroughs, a technology called Elixir, which enables cellular self-repair and dramatically extends the human lifespan. As time progresses, Claire and Greg reunite physically and begin building a life together. Their relationship matures into a partnership, and they eventually start a family. The narrative shifts into a future where humanity has undergone significant transformation due to the success of Elixir. Aging is no longer inevitable in the traditional sense. Some individuals can live far longer than previous generations. However, this advancement introduces complex ethical and societal consequences. The story transitions to a new setting, a distant planet being terraformed for human habitation. It becomes clear that humanity has left Earth behind due to environmental collapse or resource depletion. Claire and Greg, now older but still active thanks to life extension technology, are part of a pioneering group tasked with establishing a sustainable colony. They are raising children in this new world, teaching them about Earth's history, human evolution, and the responsibilities of maintaining a fragile ecosystem. Their children grow up in an environment that blends advanced technology with strict communal responsibility. Drones plant trees and generate oxygen, and every individual must contribute to the survival of the colony. Claire, now a teacher and guide, explains complex concepts like evolution and extinction to the children, emphasizing how Homo sapiens replaced Neanderthals and how survival often comes at a cost. These lessons subtly mirror the larger narrative of humanity's own struggle to endure. The presence of Roscoe, the artificial intelligence from the earlier space mission, continues to play a role in this future society. Though its original form may have been sacrificed, its legacy persists in the systems that help maintain the colony. The children interact with these systems as part of their daily lives, often thanking Roscoe as if it were still a living presence. This reflects the film's theme that consciousness and connection can endure beyond physical form. As the children grow, the film explores the challenges of parenting in this new world. Claire and Greg face ordinary yet meaningful moments, disciplining their children, guiding them through adolescence, and grappling with questions about identity and morality. In one scene, they discover their son exploring sexuality online, leading to a humorous but sincere discussion about how to address such issues. These moments ground the story, reminding the audience that even in a futuristic setting, human experiences remain fundamentally the same. At the same time, the film delves deeper into the implications of extended life. Claire's work with Elixir is revealed to have changed the course of human history. Through a presentation, she explains how scientists identified the genetic mechanisms responsible for aging and developed a system to repair cellular damage continuously. This breakthrough allows humans to live far longer, potentially indefinitely. However, the film does not present this as a simple triumph. Instead, it raises questions about the meaning of life when time is no longer limited. One of the most poignant aspects of the story is the exploration of generational continuity. Claire and Greg witness not only their children but also their grandchildren growing up. They experience the strange and bittersweet reality of outliving multiple generations, seeing echoes of loved ones in their descendants. This creates a sense of both wonder and melancholy as the natural cycle of life and death is altered. In a reflective moment, an older character, possibly Greg or another member of the original generation, speaks about the unexpected consequences of survival. He admits that he never imagined living long enough to see humanity rebuild itself, nor did he consider what it would mean to watch generations come and go while he remained. He reflects on how life's meaning has always been tied to its finite nature, suggesting that the knowledge of an ending gives life its emotional weight. The film ultimately circles back to its central theme, time. The title, "In the Blink of an Eye," underscores the paradox that even a greatly extended lifespan can feel fleeting when viewed against the vastness of existence. Moments of love, loss, and connection still pass quickly regardless of how long one lives. The story suggests that what matters is not the length of time but how it is experienced and shared. In its final moments, the film offers a sense of quiet resolution. Humanity has survived, adapted, and even transcended some of its limitations, but it has not escaped the fundamental truths of existence. Relationships remain at the heart of everything, between partners, parents, and children, and even humans and the technologies they create. The past continues to live on through memory, legacy, and the people who come after. The closing reflection emphasizes that no one truly disappears. Each person leaves an imprint carried forward through others. In this way, the film presents a hopeful yet contemplative vision of the future, one where humanity endures not just through science but through connection, memory, and the enduring impact of love. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.